And good morning, America. I'm Elizabeth Vargas here this morning with David MUIR. Diane, Robin, and Chris are all off on this Wednesday, December 26, 2007, the day after Christmas. How was your holiday?
It was great. Fast, a quick trip upstate, but back into the studio this morning. And you with the kids?
It was great. We survived. We still have presents unopened under the tree. I think it's going to take us probably a month to get through it all, but it was great.
Santa was good this year.
Santa was great.
You know, the day of Christmas and the day after our days to spend with the family, and we have this incredible story out of California this morning about the zoo attack.
We'll have a full report in just a moment.
And then this story this morning, Elizabeth, rescuers are trying to evacuate a 12-year-old American girl from a remote mountain region of Panama. She was the only survivor of a plane crash. And then an inspiring story you and I were talking about this morning.
Let's go to David.
All right, Elizabeth, we're going to turn now to that incredible Christmas story to warm your heart this morning about two families, strangers, until the day they gave each other the gift of life. Two families now, one entire family forever from this point on. You know, they wanted to give to their own family members, and ironically, they ended up being perfect matches.
Isn't that incredible?
For strangers.
What are the odds of that happening?
What are the odds? Yeah.
What a great holiday story, though. All right, we'll be right back.
Well, we welcome you back this morning with pictures of Siberian tigers. This was the kind of tiger that escaped from her cage at the San Francisco Zoo on Christmas Day, going on the attack, killing one of the zoo goers and mauling two others at a zoo cafe. These were three people just trying to spend their holiday at the zoo. And we're going to get into all of this again. Also this morning, we have our series New Year, New You. Vitamins 101. I take so many vitamins. I'm a vitamin-aholic. Is that a word? Can we make one?
Now.
Can we make it one
Yeah,
today?
it's one now.
Tips on what to take to feel younger and stronger in 2008, and I took all the notes.
I've been thinking you've been looking younger and stronger, so it's got to be working. It's got to be working. Latest this half hour from one of the nation's premier zoos, the 350-pound Siberian tiger escaped its cage going on the attack, and as I mentioned a moment ago, killed one man and injured two others.
But there is a move among many, for example, for many zoos to phase out elephants, for example, because many of them suffer from post-traumatic stress disorder from being in enclosure. So it's a debate that is hot among many in the community.
And even if it is rare, it still frightens anyone who thinks about going to the zoo when they see on Christmas Day something like this can happen. Well, perhaps on this morning after Christmas, you're already gathering up the gifts that you just can't use or don't want, but you're going to want to listen to this because today might not be the best day, obviously, to brave the post-Christmas crowds to return them. In fact, 40% of Americans will actually take back at least one holiday gift every year. And here to tell us about the hassle-free way to return those unwanted presents, you mentioned the return rules because they've gotten tougher through the years.
They really have.
A most wanted list.
A most wanted list. You don't want to be a repeat returner.
Or around any of them. We all end up paying the price for that. Now, 46 minutes past the hour. Coming up next year, Christmas around the world. And
that's quite a way to celebrate.
Good morning, gang.
Good morning, America. We have a lovely crowd here. Post-Christmas haze everybody's experiencing. I'm Elizabeth Vargas, along with David MUIR and Sam Champion. While Diane and Robin enjoy the Christmas holiday off. It's Wednesday, December 26, 2007.
That's right.
That's right.
That's right.
What were you going to say?
I was going to say we have an amazing story this morning.
We'll take you there. And all Christmas meal, you know, it takes a little while on the day after. We're going to turn on to this next story. It's really something. It's been said that our lives shrink or expand in proportion to our courage. You're about to meet a man facing a health challenge that would test the courage of anyone. But with the help of a legendary adventurer, he's proving his life has no limits. Here's a story. Even though Bill Barkley is nearly blind, his journey to the top of Mount Kilimanjaro began with his own vision in mind, to show that a disability can't stop you from reaching unimaginable heights. Born with Usher syndrome, an inherited condition that causes progressive hearing and vision loss, Barkley is taking every step to build memories that will play on in his heart and mind long after the inevitable, complete blindness. Barkley teamed up with legendary adventurer Jeff Evans, and together they plotted a courageous course through challenging conditions, carefully communicating and rarely separating, on the awesome 19,340-foot journey to the top. It's about embracing life's journey and inspiring everyone to see that their dreams can come true. Inspiring us this morning, you know. Not so overwhelming. All of us, something to think about in the year 2008. And speaking of the new year, the keys to feeling healthier and younger.
Good morning, America. I'm Elizabeth Vargas, and I'm here this morning with David MUIR and Sam Champion. Both Diane and Robin are off enjoying this Christmas week.
Hopefully. Actually, the next couple of days before the long holiday weekend. And on that note, did you just say mucus? Anyway, tomorrow morning on Good Morning America, some tips to get in before the end of the year to save some money on your taxes.
We hope you have a great day. day, everybody. See you tomorrow.
Oh, beautiful.
And good morning, America. I'm Elizabeth Vargas here with David Muir. Diane and Robin are off on this Thursday, December 27th, 2007, an incredibly busy Thursday morning for us.
And this is live coverage on the West Coast, Elizabeth, for this fast-developing story, the assassination of Pakistani opposition leader Benazir Bhutto. And we have just learned that 1 hour from now, Eastern Time, 11 a.m. Eastern, President Bush will react to this on camera. They've already issued a statement saying we condemn the attacks of violence, which took place today just after 6 p.m. Pakistani time. Elizabeth, they're chanting at the hospital where Benazir Bhutto was taken right after the suicide bombing. They're chanting "Dog, Musharraf, dog." Obviously, they're talking about President Pervez Musharraf, very critical of him, that the campaign saying that they had asked for more security. Obviously, we don't know if that would have made a difference. But this is precisely the concern, both in Pakistan and in this country, the chaos that would ensue with a woman who had significant amount of support in that country, a 60% approval rating, and it was expected that her party would win the elections just 2 weeks from now. We'll continue to bring you updates throughout the day at abcnews.com and throughout Good Morning America this morning.
And now we're going to turn to a story that's been making a lot of headlines here in the United States, that deadly tiger attack.
So much anguish for those parents. We're going to turn now to that remarkable story of the Christmas Day rescue. And in a moment, I'll speak exclusively with Frankie's mother and sister who are in Panama with her. But first, ABC's Dan Harris is here with the details of this incredible ordeal, this survival story.
David, good morning. It is, you're right, an incredible story. So, David, this morning there is one very relieved family and also two mourning families.
So true. And as you know, when Francesca's family learned of this crash, they flew to Panama, even though they'd been told that her daughter probably likely didn't survive. But Wednesday, the mom was reunited with Frankie. And just moments ago, I spoke with Frankie's mother and her sister, Valerie and Rose Lewis, in an exclusive interview. What has your daughter said this morning? How is she doing this morning?
A wing had hit a tree way high up on the mountain.
Rose, I know you're getting ready to mark Frankie's 13th birthday in February. If I could ask about Frankie's friend who she lost in the crash, how were they? I know this is bittersweet for all of you because of the loss of Michael and his daughter and the pilot, but we are so grateful that you do have your Frankie back. And it's so amazing what the body does to protect yourself in those situations. In Frankie's case, she went into that dream state you heard her mother talk about. She said she was dreaming that she was in her bedroom, but that there was a wing that had crashed into the bedroom.
Semi-conscious state, obviously. Yeah. What an incredible story.
It really is.
All right, let's check in now.
We want to turn now to the case of that top college student who seems to have vanished into thin air. Ryan Owens has more on this mysterious disappearance, and we'll be right back.
Coming up on GMA, raising triplets would challenge any parent, but imagine if each child had autism.
And tax tips today, what you can do today to save yourself some money in the new year. We'll be back.
Good morning, America. I'm Elizabeth Vargas here with David Muir. Diane and Robin are off this morning, and this is a live edition of Good Morning America at 8 o'clock because we're bringing you this breaking news.
We continue to follow these images coming in from Pakistan this morning. In fact, initially when we heard reports of this, one of the first images that came in was Benazir Bhutto, the former prime minister, actually speaking at the campaign rally. We have her there. She spoke before thousands of people, and Mr. Benazir Bhutto, the name, her first name actually means unique, an understatement for this storied woman with a very long political career. And this morning, ABC's Dan Harris has a look back. President Bush expected to speak shortly. We'll have a statement on videotape that we will bring to you just as soon as we get it at ABC News. And we'll be watching the stock market today. In addition to the presidential candidates, they'll be talking about what they would do to handle this critical moment. We want to go to Bianca Goladriga, though, now, in for Chris Cuomo with the other headlines this morning. Bianca?
Coming up, more coverage on the assassination of former Pakistani Prime Minister Benazir Bhutto. President Bush speaks in just a moment.
I want to recap for those of you who are just joining Good Morning America throughout the morning. We do have images after that campaign rally. She was in her motorcade and actually had propped herself up through the top of the motorcade. There's the still photo right there. She came up through the roof, put herself at risk when the suicide bomber shot at her and then blew himself up.
But now we're going to take a quick break and go to...
That's right. How to make a guest happy? You feed him. This is Frankie. And the question this morning, how much do Americans love their pets? Well, they now spend $41 billion a year on them, on treats just like what Frankie's munching on here. That's more than movies, video games, and music combined. And this year, much of that money has been spent on a wide range of exciting breakthroughs in pet care. So joining us now, our friend Marty Becker, who always comes by the show. Great to have you, Marty. Check them out during this segment, too, because they're up for adoption, and they would love a new home. In fact, he wants one right now. So I'm going to let Frankie play here just off camera. Go ahead, Frankie. And we're going to talk about these new items that are out, particularly for the health of your pet, dogs and cats.
Perfect.
With as little as possible. This is actually for worms, is it not?
Now this is great.
Fantastic. This is FDA approved, and this is actually, we all talk about this, a new year, a new you. We talk about slimming down a little bit if you're trying to slim down your pet.
This is actually an FDA approved appetite suppressant for dogs. I use it in my practice. It works great.
Could it work for humans one day?
I'd hope so.
That's what we're going to add. That'll be the question people ask us on the website. And this is food actually tailor-made to the specific kind of cat you have. That's fantastic. And what's fascinating is yesterday in the program, we talked about vitamins and minerals for humans. And what we have been able to figure out is the exact ingredient that will help pop the color or pop the skin.
Yeah.
And you were mentioning copper, for example, for the Siamese cats. But what are some of the other magical ingredients?
Well, tend to get overweight or obese, so this has a...
You're just having troubles too, aren't you,
Yeah,
kid?
the cat's a little unrested right now, wants to get down on the ground, but Frankie's back up here too. And reminder, these little dog and this little kitten right here are both from the Humane Society of New York. They are up for adoption. We'll be back with much more. Good Morning America right after this. Thanks, Marty. That was great.
Thank you, buddy.
Recap our breaking news this morning. Former Pakistani Prime Minister Benazir Bhutto assassinated just moments after leaving a campaign rally in Rawalpindi, Pakistan. This, of course, is having major ramifications throughout the world, especially here in the United States, a key ally in the war on terror.
The president is expected to make a statement at some point this morning. We'll continue to follow this at abcnews.com and a complete wrap-up on World News with Charles Gibson. Have a good day, everyone.
Bye. And Good Morning America. I'm Elizabeth Vargas here this morning with David MUIR while Diane and Robin are enjoying this Friday, December 28th, 2007. It's been an incredibly busy several days.
And there are new questions this morning about whether or not Al-Qaeda is responsible. We're going to have a live report from Pakistan coming up moments from now.
Also,
and then that GMA exclusive this morning, we're going to hear from the 11-year-old boy buried in that avalanche for more than half an hour. We're going to talk live to all of them coming up here.
And what those parents went through, too, as well. And all morning long, we're going to show you how Times Square, just right over our shoulders here.
Hard to believe we're there already. Another year, ready to usher it in. All right, but we're going to begin in Pakistan, of course, where just moments ago, former Prime Minister Benazir Bhutto was laid to rest. The U.S. had hoped the political leader would help bring democratic reform to Pakistan, but Bhutto had many opponents, and the question this morning is, which one was behind her assassination? ABC's Nick Watt joins us from Islamabad, Pakistan, the capital, of course. Nick, good morning.
David, at least 23 people have now been
candidate. And Elizabeth, one other note. Bhutto sent an email 2 months ago to a friend in the US in which she expressed fear that she might be killed. Just wanted you to know, she wrote, that if it happens, I will hold Musharraf responsible.
We're going to switch gears and turn back to this country now, where another winter storm targeting much of the country today as thousands are getting ready to travel for the New Year's holiday. And
David?
All right, Elizabeth, we're going to turn now to the quarterback, known as much for his good looks as his good moves on the field. And tomorrow night, Tom Brady and his New England Patriots will aim to break some big records. ABC's Ron Claiborne is here to tell us why so many people will have their eyes on this one game. Hey, Ron.
That's right, David. David, you may have noticed Boston's having a pretty good year with their teams.
Not bad. Giselle will be watching all three networks.
All right, and from that to our picture of the morning, from the Patriots to the Packers, about
Cool in the Gang getting us in the mood here this morning.
Cool in the Gang, exactly. Good Morning America. I'm Elizabeth Vargas here with David MUIR and Sam Champion. Jamming.
We were jamming, yeah.
I loved that in high school. That was like my favorite dance song.
Yeah, we are family in the next half hour.
Oh, that's good.
I pulled it out.
You're
this
dating
morning,
yourself, please.
We're going to pull out the shocking moments caught on tape this year, too. Oh, there they go.
People already getting revved up for the new year. We're going to launch it all over here, like the ball drops just right over there. I'm Elizabeth Vargas this morning with David MUIR and Sam Champion while Diane and Robin enjoy Christmas and New Year's week off, or the weekend between the two off, enjoying that. And we are going to spend this half hour looking back at the memorable moments, the things that made us laugh, that made us cry, the things that made 2007 special, because it is nearly the end of it, if you can believe it.
So much coming up in this half hour as we celebrate the new year, but first we want to head up to the news desk and Biana Goladriga, who's following the breaking news out of Pakistan.
It's been a special year for those of us at GMA. Diane, Robin, Chris, everybody here. Biana, David, Elizabeth.
And even your cousins, your country cousins.
So this is a look back at 2007.
Guess we're not going to see the $29.
Yeah, this is pigeon's eye view.
Thank you very much.
A lot of fun.
Did you just say I look like a dork?
You look like a dork.
We'll be back.
Also coming up, we're going to give you all the tips on how to have your own. out here and so excited to say hello. Also, food, what to eat. Zesty fried meatballs are on the menu this morning.
In the meantime, we do want to go back up to Sam, but we're not going to give away your hidden way to get up there because you have about 1 million of your closest fans for New Year's Eve. Back up to you.
Okay, does your mirror tell you it's time for a change?
What are you trying to tell me?
No, you look great. Robin Roberts sat down with two dynamic women who promised that in this new year, you can be a new you. Wow.
She said the mom jeans.
The mom jeans.
Stay away from the mom jeans.
I've got the mom jeans.
You do. And shoulders back, right?
Shoulders back. Coming up next, the perfect menu for your New Year's Eve party.
We continue now getting you ready for a rockin' New Year's Eve, and this time with some easy-to-make appetizers that taste like you spent hours in the kitchen. I like the cognac and the mustard there. Sounds good. You can find more of her recipes, as Chris mentioned, at abcnews.com. And coming up next, what we're giving up as we say goodbye to 2007.
Consider December 28th Good Riddance Day. The folks at the Times Square Alliance and Countdown Entertainment have done it here, but it's a nice thing for you to do at home. Just take whatever you want to get rid of in this year and throw it away. The New York Department of Sanitation here at Times Square is going to recycle what it is. Bianca, do you have anything you just want to throw away for the new year?
If I have to talk about the mortgage crisis or credit crunch anymore, I think so many millions of Americans would just like to say goodbye.
So this year,
Plastic water bottles.
Good Riddance Day. Good Riddance.
Running pants.
Are you not going to run anymore?
No, I got to keep them. That's my resolution.
Mine would be, I got to get rid of the cookies. I'm gaining too much weight. I got to.
Happy New Year, everyone. It's been a great show.
Have a great weekend, everybody.